Hello there, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be showing you how I do some Fulani braids. So getting right into the parting, I'm going to part my hair down the middle, as you see that middle part, and then I'm going to match from ear to ear because I want my hair to be in sections. Wondering how I can see this, I have that tall standing mirror behind me, and then I have another mirror that's in my bathroom on the wall. So I just prop up the stand-up mirror, and I have a front mirror and a back mirror. Whichever way I turn, I just use the other mirror to see the back of my head so that I can get my parts straight, pretty straight. Back section, which I'm gonna do individuals back here, and I'm just gonna section off my hair and by parts. So what you see me doing here is braiding this section down because I want to move pretty quickly through my head. I don't want to have to be trying to make sure I didn't grab any pieces from the next section, so I'm just gonna braid it down so that way once I take a section out, I can just braid that section and then move on to the next one. This helps me to move a little bit faster when braiding my hair. I'm just going to loosely put this scrunchie on the hair that's out because I want to keep all that other hair out of my way when I'm parting. And so I'm going to keep going up the head until I have all my parts complete in the back. And just make sure you check your spacing to make sure that your braids are going to be the size that you want. Here, you'll see me do that here. And then you can go in and correct your parting as you go. And then also, once you get your parts, you're going to probably make some corrections once you put if you use gel or if you use like an edge control or shine and jam or something, you can correct it. But I just like to go through my head first with no product And then because I may change something, I may decide I don't want to do individuals in the back. Maybe I want to do something different. So I don't put any product on my hair just yet until I'm sure that that's the way I want my hair. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so that you can see how I'm doing the parting. But I'm just using the mirror in the front and in the back to make sure that my parts are correct and make sure that my lines are fairly straight. And then I'm checking the sectioning again. I want my squares to be similar sizing. So you just make sure you pull that hair so that you can see how that section is the size of that section. Just make sure that you're checking that as you go along the way so that your sections are similar in size. Does anybody else use Beats headphones? Because I literally love Beats. Like, I ordered one for the first time 2 years ago, and I literally wore that thing out, and I had to get a second pair. So I was like, I don't even want to get any different headphones. I'm just gonna keep going with my Beats. The sound is songs I've listened to for years, and I put the Beats on and I done heard some new stuff in these songs that I've been listening to, and I'm like, I didn't hear that before. They're really good headphones, so you'll see them in my videos. Hey, Beats. So because your head is going to be the largest towards the middle, the crown of your head, I'm going to separate this section and match it up with my middle part so I can do one side of my head and then do the other side of my head and match it up. Because sometimes when you try to do the entire line from this point where your head is the largest, it can get a little messy. So just to save myself some time, I am going to section off that middle part and do one side at a time and then match it up with the other side. As you go along your head, you again want to check your spacing, making sure that your squares are actually squares, and pull your hair so that you can see the shape of that parting section, because you don't want to do all this work and then get up there and something is off. So make sure you're checking as you move along your head. I'm leaving this video in real speed because I want you all to see, it can take a little while. The parting always takes the longest, but when you take your time, your style's gonna come out really cute. So it's worth it in the end. But once you start practicing how to do your own hair, it just gets faster and faster as you go along. You will see me switch mirrors. So I'm using the stand-up mirror now for my back mirror for this side of my head. And then you'll see me use the other mirror, which is in front of me right now, as the back mirror, because it helps me when I'm on the right side of my head or the left side of my head. I just rotate my body and then I can switch between the two mirrors to get a better view of the back of my head. So all I'm going to be doing here is clipping the other side out of the way so that I can match this side with the parting that I already did. So this side is going to be much easier because I just have to mimic what I did on the other side. So I'm still going to check my parting space and make sure that my squares are squares, but it's going to move a lot quicker on this side because I've already done the work on the other side. I'm making sure I get all the angles of the process because a lot of people have asked me, how do you part your own hair? How do you get those parts like that? This is how I do it. It takes a little time, but it's so worth it in the end because this style is gonna last me anywhere from 2 to 3 months, depending on the upkeep. So it's worth it if you learn how to do it. And to be honest, a lot of this stuff is trial and error. Like, this is the first time that I've parted my hair like this. So I think this is my favorite way to part my hair. So I'm gonna be doing this going forward when I do my styles. Sometimes I just do the flat twist, and you'll see that later in the front of my head. But actually braiding it up is gonna keep the hair 100% out of the way for the next section, the section on the top or the bottom. I'm not gonna pull any unwanted pieces into any section. So I just decided this day that I was gonna try this, and it worked out. So just get in your hair and see what you like and see what you can do. You don't know until you try. Okay, the back section is now complete. So I have all of my sections. My rows are nice and neat because I braided my hair down. So now I don't have to worry about this part anymore. So I'm going to show you up close how it looks. Everything matches. And I'm going to go ahead and move to the front of my head.